Tim O'Brien dropped by, so I'm going to say hello to him on the microphone, and then he can jump in whenever he wants to. Tim is a movie buff and a screenwriter, and one of these days going to get a film together. I hope it's sooner than later. And how you doing, Tim?
I'm doing well, actually.
You're talking to the movies.
Yes,
you saw The Dark Knight tonight. I did not like the film very much. I give it 2 tickets out of 5 for all of the good things in it, like Christian Bale, grunting, and Michael Caine, and Aaron Eckhart, and Maggie Gyllenhaal. I don't mean to be vindictive. Maggie Gyllenhaal is a perfectly nice person, I guess, and she's okay in The Secretary, but she must be the homeliest leading lady in the history of the world.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I mean, she seems like a nice girl,
but they keep saying she's beautiful. She's not even. Okay, I know you're going to write me letters and say that I'm just a vindictive, destructive, but Maggie Gyllenhaal is not an attractive person in this film, and she's not even that good an actress in this film. I always thought Katie Holmes was an average-looking woman. She's gorgeous compared to Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Well, she kind of looks like the Grinch without the green makeup.
Right, she does.
She has a Grinch-like face, and that kind of, I don't know. The whole film was, I would, again, give it 2 out of 5.
Right.
I think it looked interesting.
It's about 5 years too long.
Yeah, and the veneer of being good was uber thin.
Now Heath Ledger may get nominated for an Oscar.
I think they're probably going to have to, just because, he's not going to be able to do another one, so kind of figured that one out.
Now, you told me that Johnny Depp is going to take over the role.
I heard that Johnny Depp was going to take over the role. And again, we were discussing this before. I don't understand why Johnny Depp doesn't play people. He seems to want to play
normal
creatures
people.
all the time.
Right.
It doesn't make sense because he has the talent to do almost anything. Donnie Brasco.
He used to specialize in playing disaffected loners, people who don't understand normal human emotions, and Benny and June, Edward Scissorhands, films where people are alienated and you feel sorry for them. So I'm glad he's kind of branched out, because the truth is, Pirates of the Caribbean should not have worked at all, and it worked very well because of him. The first film, the second film, and the third film are 2 of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, and they made more money than just about any other film except for The Dark Knight. So no accounting for American taste.
I think a better film might be Meet Joe Black.
Yeah, I saw that with Tim. I was
running joke of ours. Actually, I have to relate a story. We're sitting there, and it was down the Riverfront Theater, and about 30 minutes in, it's a quiet theater because there wasn't a whole lot going on the screen either.
Well, first of all, Meet Joe Black is based on a wonderful, silly play called Death Takes a Holiday.
I like that.
Right. But the movie itself is interminable.
Well, Death Takes a Holiday makes sense.
Yes, right.
There's a certain logic to it. There's no logic to it.
It's a wonderful fantasy, right.
But about 30 minutes in, Steve is sitting there and the theater's completely quiet. And again, there's literally nothing going on the screen. He goes, "This film sucks." And the entire audience erupted in laughter. And and of course they all knew who he was, so it made it even worse. And there's only one guy one kid that actually liked the film. And he has an online critics thing, and we're like, "You liked it," and he didn't like The Sixth Sense.
It's amazing, because The Sixth Sense is in my top 10 films of all time, and it's a great script.
Meet Joe Black is probably somewhere near. What is the
bottom 5?
Yeah, no, it's actually
right. Yeah, it's right down there with Lady in the Water, right?
Yeah, pathetic film.
To the phones. Let's go to Armin in Northeast Philadelphia. Armin, welcome aboard. You're on the Big Talker with me, Mr. Movie. How you doing, buddy?
How you doing there, old buddy?
Okay, say hello to Tim.
Yeah. How you doing, Tim?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I enjoyed listening to you. I have to tell you, Steve, that Michelle gives a wonderful, reviews of movies. She is terrific, and I really enjoy listening to her. She has a great speaking voice.
You mean my Michelle?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
I appreciate
wonderful.
it.
In fact, I even wrote you a note about that, and also there's in DirecTV they have a magazine, and they have Scorsese every month talking about films he likes, and guess who and I gave you the whole article. It's all about Richard Widmark and Robert Ryan.
Oh, whoa!
He loves them. I hope you get that. Maybe it should be there today. It's not.
I really appreciate it because I love them. And Robert Ryan was a very introspective liberal. He was very rare in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And he was a professional boxer.
Well,
and
I won't tell you anything about it. When I seen it, I said, this is for Steve. The way he talks about it. Well, you'll see. You'll get
Thank you so much. I appreciate
you're welcome. I hope it's there today.
Thank you.
And anyway, now, 3 films I seen the other day, The X-Files, Batman, and Mamma Mia.
Now, I've got to tell you, the X-Files movie I'm seeing tomorrow with John Ziok, who's a dear friend like Tim, and he is a fanatic on the X-Files. The X-Files is his favorite series. The first X-Files movie was well made, but I looked at it, and I was just stunned because I said, this is Quatermass 2, The Enemy from Space.
Yeah.
They stole the entire plot from a 1958 movie from England, and I was really surprised. Now, I've never seen more than 3 or 4 episodes of the X-Files.
Well, let me tell you this. I'm not going to say anything about the story since you didn't see it.
Well, I have to tell you before you tell me that the reviews in the film, I have not read the reviews, but I've read the titles of the reviews, and they say it's a lousy film.
I don't agree with that at all.
Okay, tell me.
I really like the film, except for the ending. There's something about the bad guys. You'll find that out.
Right.
I don't like.
Okay.
But other than that, it's a great script.
Okay.
The 2 of them, they have this scoring thing. It's just beautiful. And you won't believe it. There's 2 people so far this year that I've seen that could get Oscars. They may not.
Really?
I mean, Oscar nominations. And that's Meryl Streep and Gillian Anderson, of all people. I'm telling you, she's wonderful in this movie.
Well, Gillian Anderson has gone on records talking about this film, saying that it was something like 8 years or 6 years since the series got canceled, and she said she walked onto the soundstage and she had no idea how to play Scully again. And it took her days to figure out how to relate to David Duchovny.
Wow.
Now, I never thought about it because I've never seen the series, but I understand that she was totally at loose ends on how to play the part. So you're telling me she's great.
Oh, I think she's fantastic.
Okay.
I can't wait to hear you next week what you have to say.
Okay, fine.
Now, I'll go to Mamma Mia.
Okay, I loved it.
I agree with you almost, except for one thing.
Yes.
I agree with you. First of all, I had it 5 stars all the way till the ending. Now, the ending, I won't go too much about that, but I couldn't stand Pierce Brosnan singing.
Really?
I really couldn't stand it. And it little slowed off a little bit that last 10 minutes. But other than that, I even had a tear in my eye sometimes in that movie. I don't know why.
It's based on it's based on a lousy comedy from the 60s called Buonasera, Mrs. Campbell. And I knew that when I saw the film, but I didn't really care. That's the one with Gina Lollobrigida as a beautiful middle-aged woman whose daughter's getting married, and the 3 potential fathers. I think one of them was Phil Silvers, one of them was Telly Savalas. I forget the other one.
Yeah, but I think that was in Italy. Though.
Right, but Mamma Mia is a joyous film. It really is.
Oh yeah, and everybody's so good in it. Even the ones who played her friends like Julie Walters, and Christine
Baranski.
She's
terrific.
Wonderful. Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful movie.
I agree with you. I've got to tell you though, when Pierce Brosnan sings, Pierce Brosnan is not a singer.
Yeah, of course.
Now, when he does it, he kind of makes the notes, but it's a thin, reedy voice. And I love the fact that this guy has played James Bond and done a lot of his own stunts and gotten his butt burned in explosions that went off wrong. And probably the bravest thing he's ever done is sing on camera. And I like the fact that he tried. Yeah. I didn't say he was great. I just said he tried.
Yeah, well, I love dramas, and I love the fall. And that's when the 5 best movies will come out.
Right.
Now, so far this year, there's only 3 movies that I would buy, and that's Bank Job, Mamma Mia, and 21.
Okay.
But I don't think any of these are going to be nominated for Best Film.
No, and I like Bank Job, too.
Yeah, and now I'm going to go to that third one now, Batman.
Okay.
Okay. I agree with you exactly, and 2 stars. But if they had to nominate somebody, nominate Aaron Eckhart.
Right.
Even Eric Roberts is terrific. They're all good in it.
Right.
Gary Oldman. But let me tell you something about this Heath Ledger. Well, I call him Heath Ledger. This guy, I am, first of all, I'm going to sound like you now. People are going to say, where's he going? Al Pacino and Jack Nicholson, they're great actors, but they overact, in some movies. And remember when Al Pacino, he was in Dick Tracy, he had this hideous makeup on, and he got nominated for a surprise. Why is it when somebody can't speak, or they have one leg, or they lisp like Heath Ledger with that tongue coming out? I didn't see anything great about this. And it's, when you have makeup. Maybe if we'd seen his regular face, we would have laughed at him. But I'm telling you, I don't care. And this other thing about if somebody passed away, they can't say a good thing when they're alive. Well, I'm not that way. I don't like the guy. I thought his acting was fair in this movie, and I'm going to tell you something. I was hoping that, it's only a movie, but Batman would have let him go when he had him by the hand. And you talked about, you were so right about this Maggie Gyllenhaal. I guess B. Arthur wasn't available, or Tanya Daly. I'm telling you, she's a good actress, but my God, not in a part like that. I mean, you need somebody, a little class. Right. I sound like Marlon Brando now. But anyway, the movie, I thought the first almost 2 hours wasn't bad. I said, it's not bad. But that last 40 minutes, it was all over the place.
Well, it was all over the place.
Made no sense.
Right. Besides which, Christopher Nolan cannot direct action scenes. Definitely. There are shots that make no sense. If you're watching a chase scene, there is a very impressive chase scene, which was not done by Christopher Nolan. It was done by a second unit director, where the tractor trailer flips over. Big deal.
Right.
But action scenes are very specific. They're very difficult to direct unless you're an expert. Then you match the shots in reverses and cutaways, and nothing matches in this film. I mean, and things appear out of nowhere, and they disappear, and they never come back. The Joker, I understand why they didn't give him a death scene, because Heath Ledger died. Yes. But, I mean, this film, for those of you who have not seen it, for the two of you who have not seen this film so far, I have to tell you, the Joker is not a cute, charismatic villain. He's a psycho. He blows up a hospital. He kills children. And I kept saying, after the first 25 minutes, shoot the guy in the head already. He's not wearing bulletproof armor.
He's not a superhero.
No.
What's this thing about, what he says, kill the Batman? They're all out to kill him. Sure. I don't understand this.
It's absurd. Anyway, I really thought it was a very stylish film. I thought Batman Begins was a stylish film, and then it devolves into nothing.
Yeah.
At the end of Batman Begins, his mentor, the guy who's taking him along and training him to become the Batman, Liam Neeson, turns out to be the bad guy. I hated it.
Well, two things real fast, and
yes.
I know it's a long call. On Turner Classics, they have 10 Seconds to Hell this week.
Right.
Pick up on South
That's
Street.
a good film.
Yeah, Once a Thief.
Right.
They have all these things, and yet they won't have the Night in the City. And that's something I wanted to say. Last week somebody...
Well, it's available on DVD.
I know, but they have it like for $37.
Right.
I'm still waiting to get it. But anyway, a fellow called last week, and he was saying about Johnny Udo, and he said he played it again. Well, he played,
it's
in the
Tommy
beginning.
Tommy Udo.
I'm sorry, Tommy Udo. Well, Roadhouse, and remember, what was it with Mark Stevens, The Street with No Name?
Right.
Was that it? Yeah,
Yep,
I mean,
absolutely.
he was that type of guy in that, but he had to laugh, too.
Right.
In Roadhouse, he was drunk, and he said, "Looks like blood." He was shooting cans of tomatoes, and he had that laugh.
Yeah, Mark Stevens' last real film was Fate as the Hunter, where he actually appears without his toupee.
Yeah, and last thing, make sure, look for that, see if you receive that letter.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what you say about the X-Files.
I'm looking forward to it.
Enjoy yourself.
You too, buddy.
All right, take care.
Thank you, Armin.
Right, so on.
Good guy. Need a break here? Okay, we'll take a fast break. Come back and go to Jesse, Renee, John, Susan.